Tonight's episode of Raw was madness at best. Spoiler alert, tables were sacrificed, barricades became weapons, and I almost choked on my drink from laughing so hard at some moments. Welcome back to Ring Rants and Reviews, and oh boy, do we have a show for you tonight. But first, a quick shout out to the absolute legend who brought a Joe Hendry sign to Raw. I believe in Joe Hendry, and if you do as well, then you have to hit that subscribe button. So, we kicked off the night with a banger. American Made versus the Wired 6 in a street fight. First off, is it just me or does the Wired 6 entrance get spookier and more epic every time? Like, I'm pretty sure my neighbor's cat bolted for cover when the fog machines kicked in. As usual, the crowd demanded tables, and boy did we get tables. Rowan took a particularly nasty one, and then American Made decided to bury the poor guy under everything they could find. Tables, chairs, trash cans. I wouldn't have been surprised if they tossed in a kitchen sink. And just when you think they have got it in the bag, Rowan out of nowhere hulks up, pulls a barricade out from the crowd and uses it as a weapon. Chad Gable hits Joe Gacy with an angle slam from the top rope through a table. Later, Wired 6 were able to take back control. Uncle Howdy also gets involved at the final moments. Finally, Dexter Loomis hit a splash and pinned Chad Gable for the win. What a way to kick off Raw. If you didn't spill your popcorn during that match, you're watching wrestling wrong. Then we got the confirmation we have all been waiting for. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship at Bad Blood. Talk about a showdown. Rhea is a powerhouse, but Liv's been on fire. I'll save my predictions for later, but trust me, this one's gonna be good. Next up, Finn Balor hit the ring to address Damien Priest. And man, Finn didn't hold back. He straight up called Damien out for holding him down and turning him into a sidekick. Let's be real though. Finn did kind of feel like the background guy in the Judgment Day ever since Damien won the World Championship, maybe even from the point when Priest won the Money in the Bank briefcase. But here's the banger news. Finn wants Damien one-on-one at Bad Blood. I thought we would have to wait for this, but nope, we are getting the match sooner than expected. And just when it was getting spicy, Judgment Day attacks Priest. Rhea came to the rescue, but they were outmatched by numbers. Jey Uso tried to make the save, but the damage was already done. Judgment Day stood tall. Then it was time for the Tag Team Championship match, Jade and Bianca versus the Unholy Union. Jade and Bianca's teamwork gets better every week and they retain the titles. Easy win for them. Unholy Union may be out of the title picture for some times after this, and it seems Damage Control will be the next opponents for the tag champs. Bret Hart graced us with his presence next, receiving a heartfelt welcome from the crowd. But of course, Gunther showed up to crash the party. Now usually when a heel interrupts a legend, it's roast time, right? Gunther started by praising Bret, but the crowd wasn't buying it. Then came the twist. Gunther called Bret his second favorite wrestler, with Goldberg as his number one. For those who don't know, Bret and Goldberg have major beef. That's like complimenting someone's cooking and then saying their worst enemy is a better chef. Then Sami Zayn entered, challenged Gunther again, but with no surprise he declines. After some brawling, it looks like we are headed for another title clash. Let's hope Gunther finally accepts the challenge by next week. Alright, let's get into one of the juiciest parts of the night. Drew McIntyre's promo. Now, if you missed last week's Raw, let me remind you that Drew obliterated CM Punk. But Drew isn't just some angry Scotsman swinging his swords around. He has got reasons, and tonight he laid them all out. First, Drew addressed the elephant in the room, those infamous CM Punk chants. He said they don't even bother him anymore. He admitted something that got the crowd buzzing. Just because Punk was better at tapping the four corners doesn't mean this war is over. In fact, Drew claimed he made CM Punk a bigger star, but he is also the guy who ended Punk's career. Talk about confidence, right? But here's where it gets really good. Drew then dropped some bad news for Wade Barrett. Drew wasn't too happy with Wade getting involved last week, stopping him from delivering the final blow to Punk. Drew even said he was disappointed in Wade for saving Punk's skin. At that point, I thought we were going to see another face-off, and man, the tension between Drew and Wade was off the charts. Barrett's poker face was on point though. Before things could get too heated, Adam Pearce made his entrance with a major announcement. This rivalry has gone way too far and it needs to end once and for all. And how is it going to end, you ask? Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood. Yep, you heard it right. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, locked inside a steel structure where anything goes. If this doesn't main event the PLE, I'm flipping off a table. Honestly, this match has all the makings of an instant classic. The history, the heat, the hatred, it's going to be brutal, it's going to be personal, and it's going to be downright insane. Then we got Rey Mysterio vs Finn Balor, which ended with Finn disqualifying himself after locking Rey in a half Boston Crab in the ropes and refusing to let go. Finn doesn't care about winning anymore, he just wants to destroy his opponents. This is building him up as a ruthless force before his clash with Damian. Now, let's dive into the main event of the night, the Fatal 4-Way match to determine the number 1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. And let me tell you, this match had everything. You know, it's serious when you have got Braun Strowman, Jey Uso, Ilya Dragunov and Pete Dunne in one ring. From the start, it was chaos. Everyone had the same thought. How do we take down the Giant? At one point, the 3 other competitors decided to team up and take Braun down. You don't see that every day, but hey, desperate times, right? But let me tell you, the moment that had me jumping out of my seat was when Bronson Reed, yes, Big Bronson Reed, hit a tsunami on Braun through the announcer's table. I mean, holy cow, if you were watching at home, I guarantee you missed half of what the crowd was chanting because the audio had to be censored like crazy. Reed coming out of nowhere and crashing down on Braun, that's the kind of chaos we live for in these matches. Back in the ring though, the match was far from being over. Jey hit a spear on Ilya, but Pete Dunne almost stole the victory from Jey. It was thanks to Ilya for kicking out of that spear. Later, Ilya Dragunov hit the H-bomb on Pete Dunne and it looked like he had it in the bag. But out of nowhere, Jey Uso came flying in with a super kick to Ilya, throwing him out of the ring like yesterday's news. And then the final nail in the coffin, Jey hit the Uso splash on Pete Dunne and secures the victory. So there you have it, folks. Jey Uso is your number 1 contender and it's officially going to be Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. Jey has been on an absolute roll and Braun Breaker is no joke. So how do we rate this episode of Raw? I'm giving it a solid 4 out of 5 stars. The street fight was wild, Finn Balor's promo was on fire, and the main event delivered some big moments. My only gripe is the whole mystery partner bit. WWE, we can see through it. But overall, it was a great show. Let me know in the comments what you thought and don't forget to subscribe for more wrestling rants and reviews. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.